Hello, wrestling fans. Your boy, the Blue Wine, here tonight to give you a review on NXT and TNA. Now, before I get started, I got one flaw about this review that I can't understand. With this particular night, something happened that kind of mind-boggling because somebody gonna lose ratings on this because as I get to my review, you understand where I'm coming from. As there has been one guy who's on NXT and TNA shows tonight. Now that can hurt both companies by promoting this guy on the same night on both shows. So somebody please explain to me how did they screw that up? So and I get into my review, I will tell you who this guy is, and I'd like to hear some input and thoughts about how even though the show might be pre-recorded or whatever situation may be, but how do you manage to have two shows on the same night and two different promotions at that with the same wrestler on both promotions? Somebody made a mistake on this. I don't know if it was NXT, which would be the WWE, or TNA, but somebody need to fix that situation, because that could really hurt a company's ratings, because who's gonna want to watch that crap when they see the same guy on both shows? So my thing is, who is this guy? Who I'm about to get into in a minute? Which brand is he really wrestling for? Because he's not for. I'm pretty sure he's not wrestling both, because they're not independent. They're not independent wrestling organizations. So I'm going to get to the bottom of this, and hopefully by next week when I give my review on TNA and NXT, hopefully I could come to some conclusion as to the download on this situation, because it's mind-boggling. I mean, here's a guy who wrestles on two promotions. How can you wrestle on two promotions on the same night? So whoever did the recordings of these shows, as you know, they're not live, made a mistake by airing this guy on both shows at the same time. So, I mean, the guy's a good wrestler, I think, though. But either way go, he now won the match he was in, he didn't win. So, but he was good in RH. But I'm finna get to the review now. We're gonna start off with NXT. We have a qualifying match in the Dusty Rhodes Memorial match, starting off with Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy versus Samoa Joe and Finn Balor. Samoa Joe and Finn Balor wins the match after Joe hits Amore with the Muscle Buster, followed by Finn Balor hitting him with the coup de grace, picking up the victory, advancing to the Memorial. Then we have Johnny Gargano, who faces Apollo Crews. Of course, Apollo Crews remains undefeated in NXT, picking up the win with his Gorilla Press, followed by the Standing Moonsault, getting prepared for his match next Wednesday night at NXT Respect takeover called Respect against Tyler Breeze. So then we got backstage, we got William Regal, who's backstage with Emma and Dana Brooks, and tells Dana Brooks and Emma how he felt disrespected, and how they disrespected Axura, as she is now pronounced it. That at NXT Takeover Respect, that Dana Brooks will take on Oscura, or whatever her name is. And then they show highlights of her to Dana Brooks and Emma, and their face looks mind-boggled, like, what have I got myself into? That kind of look. So then Emma tell Dana Brooks, good luck with that one. So then they have a match with the two divas as they take on Billy Kay and Peyton Royce. Brooks and Emma pick up the victory, pinfall victory. Then in our main event, we had Tommaso Ciampa. Remember that name. More into that as my review goes on. Remember that name. Once again, I said it. You heard it again. Tommaso Ciampa versus Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze picks up the win as he does a used to be Christian move called the kill switch to end that. And as he gets ready for his match against Apollo Crews at NXT TakeOver Respect next Wednesday. So that concludes that segment of NXT. Like I said, Tommaso Ciampa just lost to Tyler Breeze on that show. Remember that name again, ladies and gentlemen. Tommaso Ciampa. So we go to TNA. And we start off with EC3 and Tyres coming to the ring. And he calls out his aunt, Dixie Carter. And talks to her about how she disowned him and how Drew Galloway can't beat him. And then out comes Galloway. And he talks about what he gonna do. And he's not doing it just for him. He's doing it for the business of wrestling. So we have our first match, which is a no disqualification match between James Storm versus Mahabali Shera. In a no DQ match, the Abyss and Manic comes out and attacks Storm, allowing Mahabali Shera, I like to say under that name, Mahabali Shera, to hit James Storm with the Sky High Powerbomb to pick up the victory. Then we have Bobby Roode who comes out to the ring, and he says he's going to put his King of the Mountain in an open challenge match this Sunday night for Bound for Glory, which is pay-per-view located in the Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina, this Sunday. And as he says that, out comes Bobby Lashley, who says he wants to compete against the best, and he's in TNA to collect titles. So it will be Lashley versus Roode for the King of the Mountain champion, a fight to the finish. Then we have, with Angelina Hurt, the Dollhouse make an appearance, and they will say we will have a 3-on-2 advantage as we will take on the Beautiful People tonight on a 3-on-2 handicap match. So then we go to our triple threat match between DJ Z and, remember that name I told you about, Tommaso Ciampa. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you did not just hear, you heard it right. For those of you who might be like, did he just say Tommaso Ciampa? That guy that he just said lost to Tyler Breeze on NXT? Let me reiterate. Once again, Tommaso Ciampa and Trevor Lee. Trevor Lee picks up the victory, pinning Tommaso Ciampa. So he's on 2 shows tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and he loses both of them. Go figure. That's pretty darn bad when you got a guy who wrestles on 2 different promotions and he doesn't pick up a victory. What? I mean, I'm like, in quote of a famous wrestler, the Hurricane would once say, shout out to Gregory Helm, by the way. I ain't seen you wild boy. I know you doing your thing down there in the Indies. What's up with that? So, then we have the Dollhouse versus Beautiful People 3-on-2 handicap match. The Dollhouse wins as a number of games backfire against the Beautiful People as Rebel throws powder in Madison Rain's face, allowing Marty Bell to get the roll-up victory. Then out comes Eric Young, who comes out to talk about how he's God and how Melendez couldn't beat him, but took 30 guys to help him. So then he's interrupted by Robbie, who says he's going to kick Eric Young's ass. So Robbie attacks EY. Then EY hits him with a low blow and throws him out the ring. Then out comes Melendez, who tries to attack him, but EY reverses it. Then he hits Melendez. Then he gets a chair. Melendez ducks, and Melendez grabs a chair. EY's out the ring. So as he stands out the ring, here comes Mr. Anderson, who comes out and attacks EY, throws him in the ring, and all 3 guys jump EY. First, Robbie hitting him with the boom drop. Melendez hitting him with the stunner. And, of course, Mr. Anderson hits him with the mic check. So then he's backstage with Dixie Carter. and she tells him that he ain't got to worry about the whole TNA roster. That this Sunday, Bound for Glory, taking place in the Queen City. I wonder why I say Queen City, like, 'cause that's where I live at, by the way. And says that he will face a returning Kurt Angle. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The Cyborg is back in TNA for Bound for Glory to take on Eric Young. So then we go to our main event match, which is Tyres and EC3 versus Drew Galloway and Matt Hardy. Stipulation is if Matt Hardy wins and Galloway wins this match, Matt Hardy will be added to the triple threat to the match, which will make it a triple threat match between EC3, Matt Hardy, and Drew Galloway for the TNA World Title. So, saying that, we all know the results. Galloway's pins Tyrus, which puts Matt Hardy in a triple threat match. So we have a triple threat match Sunday. And Dixie Carter comes out to announce it. And then she also announces that it will be a fair match and that she found someone, thanks to Ethan Carter, who's going to be the special guest referee. And I wonder who that could be. None other than Jeff Hardy. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The guy who said he quit last week is going to be the special guest referee for the triple threat match between EC3, Matt Hardy, and Drew Galloway for TNA World Title. Now, on that note, I would like to say one thing. I personally don't think Matt Hardy or Drew Galloway is going to win because I think Jeff Hardy is gonna go to do some kind of tactics and cause Matt Hardy. He's going to turn on Matt Hardy. I mean, that's my belief. I could be wrong, but I mean, I've seen how this stuff plays out too many times. Is having my experiences in watching professional wrestling. I've seen. You can see how stuff turns out. It's going to go and turns out. I expect now. You might fool me this time. I mean, I ain't always right, but most of the time I'm right on my assumptions. But I see a Matt Hardy Jeff Hardy turning into favor to help EC3 retain his title. Could be wrong, but we have to see. So, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our. Oh, I'm sorry. That concludes my review. It kind of upset me because I hit my table. Because I just can't believe that what has happened tonight in the sport of professional wrestling. I give both brands a big thumbs down for that act because you're gonna have some guy named Tommaso Ciampa wrestling on both shows. Now, some people might not know that your shows aren't live. But if they watch the show tonight, it's going to make them wonder, dang, is he a member of the NXT roster? Is he really on the WWE? Or is he on TNA? So now, it's going to make mind-boggling. And then they're going to say, well, all this time I've been watching TNA, I think it was live. Fooled you, didn't they? I could have told you that. Them son bitches ain't been live since they been TNA. Only time they live is when they have pay-per-view. And I don't believe all of them are live. And it's very rare to have pay-per-views on pay-per-view TV. Most time they show the pay-per-views is on damn Destination America now. Maybe 1 or 2 pay-per-views a year. That's actually on pay-per-view. So the other pay-per-views like Lethal Lockdown and all them motherfuckers, they ain't nothing but probably pre-recorded shows too. Well, evidently must be. But that hurt. That's gonna hurt the ratings because people might thought, well, maybe they misinterpreted the name, or maybe they seeing double. But no, ladies and gentlemen, what you saw was Tommaso Ciampa wrestling on both shows. Hey, it's kind of a bad move for one of these organizations. Now, if he's an NXT guy, then then TNA screwed up. But either way it go, either way it goes, it's bad for either way it go because you don't have your shows with the same guy wrestling on both promotions in the same freaking night. That's just bad for wrestling business and bad for ratings if you ask me. But somehow they got malfunction. Somebody screwed up on this taping. They wasn't aware that the other organizations were going to have this taping of the same guy on the show. You know, I don't know which one was recorded first. So I can't say that TNA messed it up. I can't say that WWE NXT messed it up. But stuff like that, it should never happen, because now people don't never know. So I'm going to find out the lowdown on that situation, and I'm going to find out who's really behind this story, because I'm want to know too. And hopefully by next week when I give you this review, I will have answers to that question, because there's no way I would be running a promotion. I would check with my other promotions first. If I just signed a guy to my organization, I'll make sure that the other promotion doesn't have any more matches involved with them where they're gonna air it. Because if they is, I'm not gonna let him, I'm not gonna promote. I'm not gonna put him on my show on the same night, because that just hurts ratings. It hurts the wrestling business, because that lets you know that folks is like, well, hell, what the fuck am I watching this shit for? All I gotta do is go on YouTube, or somebody from that city might can tell me what happened. Oh, don't worry about watching TNA tonight. They came down here about 3 or 4 months ago. I can tell you what's gonna happen. Some dude named Tommaso Ciampa gonna be on here wrestling against Trevor Lee and DJZ, and he gonna get beat. And then they be like, oh yeah, he gonna be on NXT the same fucking night. He loses to Tyler Breeze. Where they do that at? Ladies and gentlemen, that is a travesty in the sport of professional wrestling. You do not show the same guy on the same night in 2 different organizations. Ever. But they done it. So now when you wonder, is NXT going to invade? Now the only thing that can make it, well, you really can't fix that, but I was thinking maybe they can have it where NXT and TNA was in the same arena the same night, and they're going to have some kind of invasion. But that's not going to happen. Everybody know NXT will wipe TNA out anyway. TNA ain't shit for real. They got a few guys. They got good wrestlers, but they don't know how to use them. So what they do is, we're going to use the same guy that NXT using, or NXT said we're going to use the same guy TNA use, try to boost our ratings up. But then you think your ratings going up, then you look on TV on the next show comes on next, you see the same guy. Who was this on the last show? It's kind of like that, kind of like that Snoop Dogg video. He said when they sing, they say I see hoes in different area codes, the same girl. It's just kind of like that, You look on NXT, you see the same guy that was on NXT, who was just on TNA. Really, I mean, every wrestling show you watch, you see the same old guy, Tommaso Ciampa. That's funny, but it's sad at the same time. Because, ladies and gentlemen, that is a travesty. That's right. And I'm cracking up because I tell you the truth. The world of wrestling is messing up big time. This is your boy, the Blowine, telling you up first. Professional wrestling has to get it together. You cannot have the same guy on both different shows of professional wrestling, especially if the show is not the WWE, both of them. Because NXT is WWE, but TNA is not WWE, so how do you have the same guy on 2 of the biggest promotions in the wrestling business? Man, one of them are independent wrestling circuits. They are supposed to be the top 2 wrestling organizations right now, which TNA shouldn't be the top 2 because it ain't worth a damn, because they don't know how to run the shit. You change general managers more than you change draws. Answer that. And then so to top it off, we're gonna try to screw y'all trying to screw one another by saying we're gonna put the same guy on the same show. We want him first, so NXT come on first, so we can put the Tommaso Ciampa on it. Oh, we ain't think TNA gonna use it. Next thing you know, we can look at TNA, and there he is again. Tommaso Ciampa. No disrespect to Ciampa. He was a good wrestler in RH. He's a pretty good wrestler, I think. But he's getting no love on NXT and TNA. Might as well stay his ass in RH. Because he's not winning. Ever since he been wrestling in NXT, he He hasn't won a match except for that one, but they ain't wrestled nobody. The second match they lose, and ever since then he been losing every match. Go TNA on the same night, and he gets beat too. So all I'm saying is, ladies and gentlemen, for those who are involved in writing the scripts and videoing this stuff and putting the product on television, if it's pre-recorded, check out the other wrestling organizations to see if the same guy that was on that show, if he's on your show too, do not put that match on. It is bad for the business of professional wrestling. It is bad ratings, period. I've never in my life, you would never ever see The Rock going on motherfucking WWE at the same time and then turn around on WCW Monday Nitro. You would never see that. Now, some of them guys did jump ship. You never seen Kevin Nash leaving WWE when they was pre-recorded. But then he's on Monday Nitro, which was live. You just don't do that. So, bad for the professional wrestling writers and videos or whoever, management, poor management on both halves. I don't know who's at fault or who's responsible for this crap, but you don't never do that again. You lost all respect tonight as far as being a wrestling fan, because who the hell wants to see the same guy on two different organizations at the same night, knowing that it can't possibly be true? He cannot be in two places in one night within an hour of each other's time. Ain't no way that can happen. So, that's bad. Bad, 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 bad. I don't care how you want to look at it. Not team bad, but it is bad, period. So, I'm sorry about this long review, but I had to get them. I told you once before, and I tell you again. If I see garbage or see shit, I'm gonna tell you about it. If I see you fucking up, I'm gonna tell you about it. I'm gonna explain it to you, and I'm gonna let you know. So, hey, I'm gonna keep it 100 with it. You might not agree with what I'm saying, but I don't care. But I'm just speaking the truth. That is bad for business. You do not. One more time. Maybe somebody in the big writer might hear this review, and maybe they will understand. Maybe they were like, oh, I didn't realize he wrestled on NXT. Well, fucking do your research, buddy. You can't tell me you can't find the scoops out, because motherfuckers find shit out before it even happens. So there's always ways to find out the shit. That's shame on you, NXT. Shame on you, TNA. Shame. I'm giving you both a shame on you tonight, because both of you, one of you, should have never done it. So I can't blame one. So I'm gonna blame both of you. Bad for business. Boo. But next Wednesday night, 2 hours NXT special. We have our NXT takeover called Respect. Don't forget the main event for the women's NXT Women's Champion Iron Man match. Sasha Banks Bayley Part 2. Who's gonna take it? But I'm like to say I'm the one, and I'm out of here. And I'll see you tomorrow with my SmackDown review. So until then, I'd like to say peace, God bless, and I'm out. And one more time. That's a crying ass shame to have Tommaso Ciampa on both fucking shows. Peace.